certain parts of the country, including this part of the coastal stretch.
On previous trips, I've never encountered any problems, and I've always felt safe here.
In an advisory issued on Wednesday, Britain advised its citizens to avoid all but essential travel to Mombasa Island and within 5 kilometers of the coast from Tropper Creek to Tiwi. Ben is, however, depending on his memorable experiences over the past decade here to stay put.
I've always felt, entirely secure here.
However, the effects of the advisory are already being felt, especially in the south coast. Standard newspaper's Tobias Chanjo reports that 125 Britons from Diani Sea Resort alone were on their way out, 108 of whom had arrived only a day earlier. Industry players are furious.
9 out of 10 times they've issued advisories, there has been no incident to follow. And that, to me, my humble opinion, is irresponsible.
The Kenya Tourism Federation has weighed in on the issue, expressing great disappointment in what it called a lackluster reaction and sometimes inaction by government officials who should be handling this matter, reassuring citizens, investors and tourist source markets. It is low season and many hotels in Mombasa are recording below 30% bed occupancy in one of the worst years ever for tourism. Hotels like the Sarova Whitens, whose revenues are more dependent on conference tourism than holidaying, are less affected. But at 43% bed occupancy, the optimism is cautious.
We will get a hit because if your neighbor is not eating, he'll come borrowing from you.
Ben feels Britain has an obligation to protect its citizens and appreciates his government's precaution, but also feels for the beach traders who depend on tourism for their daily bread. The local players are also determined to make lemonade out of the situation.
Yes, we are susceptible to certain threats, but it is not unique. It's a global threat, and therefore we've risen up and continued to live our lives.
Industry players this time are defiant, saying in spite of the advisory, they will get on with the job and hope to post positive returns. Ferdinand Omondi, KTN at the Sarova Whitens, Mombasa.